So, welcome back. Last time, focus was on me. I like to talk about me. But you're also here.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for noticing. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What's your story?
Should I start with why I do role playing?
Well, yeah, we can start there.
All right.
Yeah.
I got introduced to role playing when I was around 14. I think 14, 15. And I don't consider myself a lot of like a gamer before that. Doggo.
You gotta love the doggo.
I think I've always been fascinated by sci-fi, fantasy, the whole genre as an interest. As a creative person, I thought that was very fascinating. Like these imaginary worlds, these incredible tales. So when I got introduced to role-playing, it actually was the first edition of Vampire the Masquerade.
That's a long time ago.
First edition, yeah. And it absolutely blew my mind. I couldn't understand that this was a way to play a game. There's no board. There's no wall.
It's all in here.
There was no limitation to what one could do, and I think that triggered something in me. That triggered this imagination, the inner eye, that a world could be that grand and big, and you could play in it. You could do stuff in it. You could have stories and experiences in it, like action, drama, all that. It was such a pivotal point that I remember it so vividly. The first time I played it, I was like, yeah, I was hooked, hook, line, and sinker, and I was like, this is my jam. This is something I'm gonna pursue and play and enjoy. But as you spoke about in Norway, the same amount of because we're the same age, this is the same time. This is role playing wasn't really big, and I come from a really small place. There was not a lot of people that knew what role playing was or had it. Like we didn't even understand that we needed dices in the beginning. It's like we kind of just tried it out and just did what we could with it.
We don't know the rules, don't care about the rules.
We didn't care about the rules. We made up a whole rule system with other dices just to make it work. But through that, it took a minute for me to actually become a proper gamer. It wasn't before I moved to Bergen to be a student that I really got into role-playing games, because then I found a home for it. Coming into student town. Before that, I came from the boonies. That was not it was weird. It was like the satanic panic and all that jazz. People thought it was something occult. You were strange. You were weird. I was a strange child. I was a nerd. Not a proper nerd, because in the boonies you don't really have anything. So you're just weird.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Bergen and became a student, and I started working actually in a comic book store. Because comics, I've always been interested in comics and anything that got to do with movies, TV series, comics, or books, all that stuff. And then I really got reintroduced into role playing, because I was in the house of games, working in a comic book store with games and everything. And then I really got immersed in how to play and tried all types of games. But I found that player, yes, I can be that, but to be a storyteller, that's a completely different ballgame.
That's where the magic happens.
That's where the magic happens, and I kind of always wanted to be in the driving seat. I kind of always wanted to bring people into my version of a game, and that's how I everything started for me when I moved to Bergen, student starting. Got introduced Hunter and started playing, and that's how it all kind of began, and played with you for many years. So that's how it kind of all came about for me when it comes to being a role player.
Yeah. And then you moved back home?
I moved back home. It's a strange occurrence of events. Life changes.
It does.
I had a change of career from going from being illustrator to becoming a tattoo artist. I had the opportunity of starting my own business with another childhood friend that took me back. But again, it's in another city, it's not with my role-playing friends, so it kind of got put on the shelf for a minute. Completely focusing on building on my business, building my studio up, doing all that creative stuff. But there was like a piece missing.
To put it to put it in words. I will try with my words.
I love words.
Yeah.
Use words.
Have you been able to use your experiences from role playing games in your creative work?
I think you, like a creative person as yourself are, role playing and the capacity to have the imagination, to stories, to create characters, it's always intertwined in the way I think creative. I think role playing in itself is very clear in the way I work creative, and if I have free range, I like to tell a story in my tattoos as well as I do as a storyteller. I think it's integrated in the way I am, and I've to stand up. And without being a storyteller, I don't think I would be able to do stand up, because it gives you an understanding of projecting, telling a story, and knowing when to lure them in and knowing when to like make them wait. I think it's defined me from the moment at a tender age of 15 when I tried it for the first time. I think it was a changing moment. It was like, this will be a thing I think I will keep in my life until I'm senile. Probably going to play that as well. Nurses.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a part of who I am, creative, and it will always be a way for me.
And the horror aspect of gaming and of your art.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of your tattoo work, and for those of you that follow our Instagram account, you can see that our first illustrations for the Hunter campaign is really based on the trash polka
tattoo style. Yeah.
So the horror in your art,
and also in my role playing, I think I'm not the kind of like hack and slash splatter kind of horror enthusiast. I'm more the psychology about with terror.
Yeah.
We've
had some gory scenes back in the days.
Gore's fun, but like if you have time, the slow burn of suspense that goes into terror, the personal horror of something, I think that's the most fascinating bit for me in most arts, because I'm a horror buff. I do love suspense. I do love to see a character struggle through personal horror and then either scarring by it tremendously or then rising above it. I think it's interesting. I think that's a way of creating interesting and intriguing stories.
So what's the best horror tale in your mind, in your book?
I think it's the one you don't see coming. I think it's the one that isn't obvious. I think it's the one that reaches a personal level within the player. And this is where I can be a bit of a tricky storyteller, is because I demand a lot of my players.
Oh, you do.
I demand them to skin, hair, everything. I want them to leave everything on the role-playing altar, if you like. Because if they do that, they will experience a genuine sense of all the emotions, I think. So yeah,
Best horror movie?
oh shit, that's a hard one. I have a couple of favorites. I have a Korean one, Tale of Two Sisters.
Oh, that one is nice.
It's very nice. Hereditary I thought was clever. It's a new one.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Hereditary was interesting. A slow burn. I do love a slow burn that has a surprising ending.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to go a bit gory, that's interesting. It's the French movie Martyrs. I do love a bit of some creepy, fucked up shit. I do like some creepy, fucked up shit.
Alien.
Oh gosh, I'm an Alien idiot. I love Alien. Everything's got to do about Alien. I'm into it.
Yeah. So will we be playing Alien sometime next year?
Oh shit, that's on my bucket list. To do a really gritty, maybe 3 episodes.
Oh yeah, to play the cinematic rules.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to die. Yes, I don't want to die.
So yeah. For me, horror, creativity. I don't know. It all comes together in the way I like to play and I like to tell a story.
So stay tuned for more horror from this woman.
Please do. No ponies.
Yeah.
Scary ponies.
So like and subscribe, please.
Yes, please. Bye.